यस्य रूपमधिकम् प्रच्छन्नगुप्तं धनम् विद्या भोगकरी यशः सुखकरी विद्या गुरुणा गुरुः विद्या बन्धुजनो विदेशगमने विद्या परं दैवतम् विद्या राजसु पूज्यते न तु धनम् विद्या विहीनः पशुः विद्या प्रशस्यते लोकैः विद्या सर्वत्र गौरवा विद्यया लभते सर्वम् विद्वान् सर्वत्र पूज्यते ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते।
Dr. Trupti Sachin Gupte is an academician, researcher and institutional leader currently serving as a Chief Academic Coordinator and HR faculty at PTVA's Institute of Management. With more than 20 years of experience in management education and corporate HR, she brings a rare blend of strategic insight and research excellence to the global academic community. She holds a Ph.D. in management from University of Mumbai and MBA in finance and human resources from University of Pune. Her teaching expertise stands with organizational behavior, strategic HRM, learning and development, and competency based on HRM and PMS, with a strong emphasis on student engagement and industry interface. Dr. Gupte has published over 25 research papers in reputed ABDC, SCOPUS and UGC care listed index journals and has presented these papers extensively at national and international conferences. Her academic journey includes key roles at PTVA's Institute of Management, Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Technology and Modern College of Engineering, Pune. She has also held HR leadership positions in industry, notably at Aqua Chill Systems Private Limited, Pune and at Tata Finance, Pune. A recipient of the prestigious Philips India Limited Scholarship for Excellence in Education, Dr. Gupte is known for her motivational guidance, mentoring skills and commitment to holistic student development. So let's welcome Vidyavachspti, Dr. Trupti Sachin Gupte.
Hello, I'm Dr. Trupti Gupte. I've completed my PhD on the topic Analytical Study on the Effectiveness of Strategies Adopted for Employee Retention in Organized Apparel Retail Sector. I've done it under the guidance of Dr. Tejashree Deshmukh. About the organized apparel retail sector. So basically, organized apparel retail in sector in India denotes large-scale systematic retail establishments such as chain stores, franchisee and sizable independent outlet that sell clothing and accessories under the prominent brands. This study basically aimed to explore the effectiveness of various employee retention strategies implemented by organizations in the organized apparel retail sector, focusing on both male as well as female employees. This research enhances the understanding of the effectiveness of the various employee retention strategies, leading to more stable and committed workforce, improved organizational performance, and long-term success in the competitive apparel retail sector. About the employee turnover and challenges in organized apparel retail sector. I've chosen this topic. The reason was because employee turnover is a major challenge in the organized apparel retail sector. The reason behind that was intensive competition within organization drives the focus of management towards cost cutting and keeping compensation structure at a very lower level. This sector is dominated especially by female employees at lower level, and there is a lack of clear policy structure which has focus on the needs of female employees. The male employees also face major concerns such as long working hours. Stress has always remained a complex challenge as there has been a competitive nature in this particular sector. The various employee retention strategies. So, for this particular research, I had chosen different employee retention strategies. To name a few, I had chosen were training and development, performance based reward and recognition, cross functional job rotation, flexible working hours policy, higher education, job motivation, and job satisfaction. The statement of the problem especially was the organized apparel retail sector has always faced high turnover rates and intense employee poaching, making it crucial for organization to retain loyal as well as the productive employees. So this study basically aimed to address the gap through an analytical study of the retention strategies implemented by organized apparel retail sector. The objective was to evaluate how these strategies influence employee retention rates, identify the best practices, and provides actionable recommendations for enhancing the retention efforts. By understanding the effectiveness of these strategies, organization can improve their employee retention. They can definitely help in reducing the turnover and build a more stable and committed workforce. The study involved data collection from 1,004 employees in organized apparel retail sector in Mumbai metropolitan region, that is MMR. The scope of the study. This study has been conducted across organized apparel retail stores, the various multi-brand segments in Mumbai. The current study has focused on retaining employees in organized apparel retail sector, which included both male and female employees working in this sector with minimum 12th standard passing as educational qualification and minimum 3 years of experience in the organized apparel retail sector. The significance of this research study was this study addressed a critical gap in the academic literature by evaluating the employee retention strategies currently employed in organized apparel retail sector, assessing their effectiveness, their benefits as well as the challenges. The study also will help the organized apparel retail sector to adopt such strategies and will decrease the rate of employee turnover and will definitely increase the rate of employee retention. The different strategies which are proposed in the current study will help in the improvement of employee retention in the organized apparel retail sector and may be adopted post modifications in other industries as well. Extensive literature review was conducted for this particular research, and therefore I had conducted around 80 to 85 literature reviews. Various variables were considered for the study. The dependent variable for the study was employee retention, and 10 literature reviews were conducted for this particular variable. And the major gap which was identified from this was lack of studies on sector specific strategies influencing retention was observed. Need for empirical validation of HRM activities on retention was required in apparel retail sector, and variation in effectiveness of retention strategies across industries was found to be unexplored. The another variable was training and development, which was an independent variable. 10 literature reviews were conducted for this study, and the gap found was empirical evidence on training impact in apparel retail was found to be missing. No study on long-term career growth through training was found in apparel retail. Need for specific research on training implementation in apparel retail was required. The next variable which was considered was performance-based reward and recognition, which was also an independent variable, and 10 literature reviews were conducted for the research. It was found no empirical study validating reward system was found in apparel retail. link between reward and long-term retention lacks empirical validation, and long-term impact of reward programs was found to be remained unexplored. The next variable was cross-functional job rotation, which is an independent variable. 10 literature reviews were conducted for this study, and the gap identified was no empirical validation of job rotation effectiveness was found in apparel retail, lack of research on job rotation as a leadership identification tool, and apparel retail sector lacks job rotation studies. Another variable was flexible working hours policy, which was an independent variable, and 10 literature reviews were conducted for the study. It was found there is more need for apparel retail specific flexibility studies. Apparel retail requires flexibility framework development, and effect of work flexibility on productivity and retention remained unclear. The next variable was higher education, which was an independent variable, and 10 literature reviews were conducted for the study. The gap found was need for industry-specific data on education-led retention was required, empirical validation of scholarship-led retention was required, need for cost-effectiveness study on employer-sponsored education is a requirement. The next variable was job motivation, which was a moderating variable, and 10 literature reviews were conducted for the same. The gap identified was industry specific impact of job motivation was remained unexplored. Lack of empirical studies linking motivation to retention was found in apparel retail. The next variable was job satisfaction, which was a moderating variable, and 10 literature reviews were conducted for the same. And it was found leadership impact on job satisfaction lacks apparel specific validation, and moderating role of job satisfaction in retention remained unexplored. The research gap for the study was lack of studies has been found on examining how retention strategies such as training and development, performance-based reward and recognition, cross-functional job rotation, flexible working hours policy, and higher education initiative impact employee retention within this sector. Secondly, negligible studies exist which have adopted a survey methodology to examine the influence of strategies discussed above on employee retention in organized apparel retail sector. Moderators like job motivation and job satisfaction have been noted to significantly influence the impact of different employee retention strategies on retention, but empirical validation is necessary to guide management action in this sector. Primary and the most crucial gap which was found is empirical validation by collecting information from actual stakeholders, that is the employees in organized apparel retail sector, which was addressed in the current study by engaging in a survey-based methodology. The objectives for the study were to investigate the need for systematic and formal retention strategy in organized apparel retail sector, to study the effectiveness of training and development adopted by the organization and identify whether it results in enhanced coordination among employees leading to retention, to study if performance-based reward and recognition influences employee retention, to study and analyze whether cross-functional job rotation leads to employee retention, to study and analyze if the flexible working hours policy enhances the overall job satisfaction among employees in the organization, leading to employee retention, to study the impact of higher education in retaining the employees, to study the role of job motivation as a moderator in influencing the relationship between employee retention strategies and employee retention, and to investigate the impact of job satisfaction as a moderator in influencing the relationship between employee retention strategies and employee retention. The hypothesis of the study was the first hypothesis, which is a null hypothesis, was training and development does not have a significant impact on enhanced coordination between employees leading to retention. The alternative hypothesis was training and development has a significant impact on enhanced coordination between employees leading to retention. The second hypothesis, the null hypothesis, was performance-based reward and recognition does not have a positive influence on employee retention. The alternative hypothesis was performance-based reward and recognition has a positive influence on employee retention. The third hypothesis, the null hypothesis, was cross-functional job rotation does not reduce the work monotony and does not have a positive relationship for retaining employees. The alternative hypothesis was cross-functional job rotation reduces the work monotony and has a positive influence or relationship with retaining the employees. The fourth hypothesis, the null hypothesis, was flexible working hour policy does not enhance the overall job satisfaction among employees in the organization and does not lead to employee retention. The alternative hypothesis was flexible working hour policy enhances the overall job satisfaction among employees in the organization and leads to employee retention. The fifth hypothesis was, the null hypothesis was, organization encouraging employees to pursue higher education does not have a positive impact on retention. The alternative hypothesis was, organizations encouraging employees to pursue higher education has a positive impact on retention. The sixth hypothesis, null hypothesis, was job motivation does not moderate the influence of employee retention strategies, training and development, performance-based reward and recognition, cross-functional job rotation, flexible working hour policy, and higher education on employee retention in the organized apparel retail sector. The alternative hypothesis was job motivation moderates the influence of employee retention strategies, training and development, performance-based reward and recognition, cross-functional job rotation, flexible working hour policy, and higher education on employee retention in the organized apparel retail sector. The seventh hypothesis, the null hypothesis, was job satisfaction does not moderate the influence of employee retention strategies, training and development, performance-based reward and recognition, cross-functional job rotation, flexible working hour policy, and higher education on employee retention in organized apparel retail sector. The alternative hypothesis was job satisfaction moderates the influence of employee retention strategies, training and development, performance-based reward and recognition, cross-functional job rotation, flexible working hour policy, and higher education on employee retention in organized apparel retail sector. The research design chosen was exploratory as well as descriptive. The data collection was done by primary data was collected through survey methodology. The secondary data was collected by referring through national and international journals, research articles, books, and newspapers. A structured questionnaire was designed for the study, and the measurement scale used was nominal scale as well as Likert scale. The pilot testing of the questionnaire was done for 100 respondents, and during the pilot study, reliability was tested by using Cronbach alpha, which was found to be more than 0.8 for all the research variables included in the research. The final set of questionnaire was designed based on the result of validity and reliability obtained during the pilot study. The research area was employees working in organized apparel retail sector located in shopping malls and standalone stores in central, western and harbour line of Mumbai metropolitan region. The sampling design. The sampling universe consisted of employees working in organized apparel retail sector with minimum 12th standard passing as educational qualification and minimum 3 years of work experience in organized apparel retail sector. The sample size was 1004 employees, and the sampling methods used for the study were snowball sampling, also called as referral sampling, and convenience sampling methods were used for the study. Both are the types of non-probability sampling. The data analysis and interpretation. The data analysis has been classified into descriptive analysis and inferential analysis. The data was analyzed by using IBM SPSS Statistics 29. The descriptive analysis was done by using the simple percentage method, which was done by pie chart, and the inferential analysis was done by using various techniques such as reliability analysis was tested by Cronbach alpha, validity was tested by multiple regression, Chi-square test and Spearman rank correlation was used to test the hypothesis, as well as the other tools used were factor analysis and structural equation modeling. It was found in the research that the null hypothesis was rejected, and therefore all the alternative hypotheses were proved for the research, which were training and development has a significant impact on enhanced coordination between employees, leading to retention. Performance-based reward and recognition has a positive influence on employee retention. Cross-functional job rotation reduces the work monotony and has a positive relationship with retaining the employees. Flexible working hours policy enhances the overall job satisfaction among employees in the organization and leads to employee retention. Organizations encouraging employees to pursue higher education has a positive impact on retention. Job motivation moderates the influence of employee retention strategies, training and development, performance-based reward and recognition, cross-functional job rotation, flexible working hour policy, and higher education on employee retention in the organized apparel retail sector. Job satisfaction moderates the influence of employee retention strategies, training and development, performance-based reward and recognition, cross-functional job rotation, flexible working hour policy, and higher education on employee retention in the organized apparel retail sector. The findings from this research were: training programs emerged as a pivotal employee retention strategy, but its accessibility was found to be limited. Performance-based reward and recognition was widely acknowledged as an employee retention strategy across organized apparel retail sector. Cross-functional job rotation stood out as a popular employee retention strategy. Flexible working hour policy emerged as a significant driver of employee retention. Support for higher education was lacking as the respondents indicated that their organizations did not encourage or provide resources for pursuing educational advancement. The study underscored the moderating roles of job motivation and job satisfaction in employee retention. Chi-square test and Spearman rank correlation test confirmed the significant positive influence of training and development, performance-based reward and recognition, cross-functional job rotation, flexible working hour policy, and higher education on employee retention. The recommendations and suggestions given for this research were: holistic training and development program. So, organizations should institute more and more structured and continuous training and development programs. Performance-based reward and recognition program should be introduced to motivate employees and instill a sense of fairness, belonging, and fostering enhanced performance. Flexible working hour policy is highly valued and revered by employees as it helps them manage efficiently both personal and professional responsibilities, reduces the stress, leading to better work output and overall job satisfaction. Cross-functional job rotation reduces the work monotony and also gives employees the chance to explore newer work avenues within the organization. Higher educational support. So, organizations can implement a higher educational support program for selected employees with either financial backing, scholarship, and or study leave with contractual caveats. Promoting an inclusive workplace culture. Job motivation and job satisfaction are greatly influenced by a conducive, inclusive, and positive workplace culture. Technology integration into workforce management. AI-driven tools for feedback, gap analysis, virtual training sessions, and thereby creating analytics for monitoring employee satisfaction and doing a predictive analysis can be leveraged to enhance the employee retention strategies. Tailored strategies for varied demographics. One size fits all is not the mantra for employees, especially in a highly varied demographic apparel retail sector. Curating employee retention strategies meeting the generational needs of Gen X and Gen Z will result in better engagement and higher retention rates of the younger workforce. The conclusion of the research was organized apparel retail sector in Mumbai metropolitan region MMR is known to be a highly dynamic and competitive in nature. Key success parameters for the business is the continuity of the talented and the loyal workforce. To cater to the technological development and a rapidly changing demographic workforce, the retention strategies need to be flexible and forward thinking. Positive correlation exists between the employee retention strategies such as training and development programs, performance-based reward and recognition, flexible working hour policy, cross-functional job rotation, and higher educational support. Effective implementation of the employee retention strategies has shown an enhancement on the moderating factors, job motivation, and job satisfaction. The study can be a strategic guide to HR managers and organizational leaders that gives practical insights and actionable recommendation on how employee retention issues may be addressed. The scope for further study. This study can also be conducted in other geographic regions which is apart from Mumbai metropolitan region. Inclusion of unorganized apparel retail sector can be conducted for further study. Impact of technological advancement can also be considered for further study as a future scope of research because of new AI-driven tools. Cultural and generational influences. With more of Gen X and Gen Z coming active into workforce with tectonic expectations, the retention strategies can be further addressed. Thank you.
ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते नहि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते नहि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते